Hello, welcome to a episode of Inside Star Citizen. We've been off for a good month because they generally will take a break on these every time they release an update for the game, but we're back when they're back, and I've been not that active for the last month or so anyways, so we'll talk more about that at the end, but you might notice different camera, things happen. Anyways, let's see what they've got for us this week.
Hey y'all, greetings from sunny United Kingdom.
Sunny.
It's a time of change at the moment
Sunny
as I
UK.
relocate from Los Angeles and our Winslow and Frankfurt offices prepare their move into the new digs over the next coming months. That means that this quarter of ISC may be a little different, a little more run and gun than usual, recording from wherever we can week to week, whether that's our old Winslow office you're already familiar with, sticking our heads into the currently under construction new offices here in Manchester, or even my new flat that's currently filled with half-constructed
Look at Jared, he called it a flat. I'm proud of you, man. Keep it up. What floor is it on, though?
IKEA furniture. Yes, it's an exciting time for ISC and for Cloud Imperium Games as a whole as we continue to grow. So please, pardon our dust this quarter as we continue our look inside of Star Citizen's continuing development. And we're going to start things off this new quarter and this new year of the show with a brief look at a presentation given recently by our own Forrest Steffen to directors, detailing an evolution of our wear and biome systems we want to put forward into development later this year.
That'll be good to know. This is something I was going to touch on in an exclusive video coming up. It's going to be cool now that he's in England and he's seeing not only these new studios in development, but also some of this more integral stuff going on with Squadron 42. There's a lot more going on in the UK than LA. So I think it's a better place for him to be overall. I'm glad he moved there. Sorry about I'm seeing the camera messing up. This is a webcam. It's just got a basic USB connection. I'll see what I can do after this. Ah, the turtle. You don't see turtles enough in this game.
Greetings all, Forrest here. Some of you may know this. I love playing Star Citizen. I play it on Fridays. And I was running around Microtech when I realized there was a bit of a problem. There were
Just one?
some major inconsistencies between the characters, the weapons, and the environment in regards to the biome accumulation.
It's good to polish up some of those. That's like, there's so many of those things in Star Citizen where like they've done something really cool, but it's just wildly inconsistent at times. So, you know, it's cool to hear they're focusing on it. It's polished kind of stuff though.
So I tried to come up with a solution and then I put together a presentation because before we decide to work on a feature of any kind, it is important to make certain we're all on the same page. So today, I'm going to share with you some of those ideas from the presentation I recently gave to CR and other directors before any of the work had started. Now, disclaimer, Jared said you'd find it interesting. So if it's not, blame him.
No, I think it's cool.
So for those of you who don't know, biome is weather and accumulation is the effect that that weather has on the materials.
Oh, I thought this dude was just twitching.
So if a character walks into a biome, that character's shader will reflect the weather. Simply put,
it happens too fast, I think, at times. I hope that time lapse was over a more extended amount of time than what we see now. Because right now, you'll be out in the cold for like 2 minutes and you'll just be completely frosted over, which I guess, you know, does get pretty cold in this game.
if you walk out in the rain, you're gonna get wet.
Moist.
Right now, when you play the game, there's only a single texture handling all accumulation effects per asset. So my pitch to
so
Chris
many
was,
wires.
let's make it procedural. How we did this was we used Substance Designer to automate any textures needed for any biome required. This alleviated all labor off.
Okay, I'm not going to go through all of this because that's a lot, but let's see. It's some pretty... It looks like standard stuff. I mean, standard as far as they've been talking about for their wear and tear stuff. Artists should no longer have to decide dirt color. That's something that we've seen with like ship wear and tear that they've started to work on. Artists have a clear expectations on how to pair pristine and wear layered materials. This is all really cool stuff. I hope that they'll talk a little bit here about the gameplay implications of it, but it seems like this is more an overview of just kind of where the feature is overall. Well, let's keep going.
The artists. So look, when you have a bunch of people creating the same thing, you're going to have different results. Because we all see things differently, doing this procedurally solves the visual inconsistencies of biome accumulation. And of course, with graphic support, it's going to be even better.
This is a new version of this song? I don't think I've ever heard that bass line.
With graphic support, it's going to be even better.
Sounds good. Also, cool shots. Cool shots.
All in all, the reason this is so important to me is it gives us that immersive planet-side experience while playing the game on my Friday nights.
At least you get Friday nights to play.
Where and biome accumulation are essential elements in creating a universe that feels simultaneously alive and lived in, with its expected and anticipated effects on players, buildings, and vehicles alike. And up next, the teams have been busy while we were away, so let's check in with the AI and EU Sandbox teams in this week's Sprint Report.
EU Sandbox is fun.
To get things started this week, let's jump into the world of AI with some sprint updates from a variety of tasks the team is tackling for both Star Citizen and Squadron 42.
This is how that's how I walk around when I'm on the street, find me in Manhattan, walking into people. I know how to get around you, move.
First is a collision resolver. Now, currently in the claustrophobic corridors of a ship or station, NPCs will often have no collision so that they can get to where they're going relatively unimpeded.
That's how I like it.
But nobody wants characters just walking through other characters.
I love walking through things.
So the collision resolver is a new system currently in development that will temporarily shrink the physics bubble of AI and change to the relevant animations, allowing them to pass through many situations they currently cannot.
So it sounds like that's a way to allow for them to not just automatically walk through each other, which is a good start. This is the beginning, I guess, of collision avoidance with AI, something that they've definitely showed us before in the past. But, there's no way we could really know why it would be at this stage versus where it was a couple of years ago. But generally, I'm taking the things that we see at this stage as being actual development. I don't know. I can't speak that much towards the stuff we used to see, other than that maybe they realized it wouldn't work as well given the way server meshing has changed. I don't know. I can't say. But it'll be nice when NPCs don't walk through each other. That's cool. Yay.
Missions that require AI to come down from orbit and either deliver or pick up the player or goods often follow the terrain just a little too precisely, bouncing needlessly up and down over obstacles far, far below it, making it look, just janky as heck. So the AI flight path system is getting new features that allow for both local and look-ahead searches to determine not just safe altitudes that they can reach their destinations with, but also fly a more smooth and natural motion than ever before.
This is going to be, so this was in the monthly report also about dropships being able to land procedurally anywhere on the planet for some reinforcements. I don't know how, we don't know how far this goes, but the idea of having dropships able to come down anywhere on a planet and drop off NPCs, that could mean we could see missions anywhere, What if this means if you set down on a planet and for some reason you do something, that's what I think of as a No Man's Sky. If you start destroying environments, they'll send sentinels after you to come stop you. And I'm thinking, what if you could do something on the planet now that actually makes NPCs come seek you out, whether those are bounty hunters or security or something? This could really open up the field for where gameplay might take place. I'm excited to see dropships finally flying around on planets.
This system can also potentially be used to allow NPCs to determine their own landing spots, using many of the same size and shape and availability judgments the players themselves have to use. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but NPCs are dumb.
The team is also working to improve downstate reactions, as you can see here, where a group of actors discovers a fallen body. In this case, they might just rush over, investigate,
What do you think happened to this body, Jerry? I don't know, Matt. I don't know, but it's still laying there. It's still laying.
And then fan out a scene here. Or perhaps they'll slowly approach with one person investigating while another stays behind to provide cover.
Oh, that's cool. This is a Squadron 42 scene.
And for
Little
anyone
sneak
that's
peek.
ever done the underground facility mission, improved response times for when their investigation of a fallen comrade is interrupted by an uncautious player.
That was not an improved.
The
That was
AI
such a slow response time. Did you see this person
Is
Coulda
improved
straight up
response time
ran up and stole the body from under him before he noticed?
for when their investigation of a fallen comrade is interrupted
Come
by
on
an
now.
uncautious player.
That's just not good security.
The AI content folks have also recently completed a sprint on a variety of usables such as these vending machines, where AI will ponder their selections, use their Moby Glass to complete the purchase, and even get frustrated when it
Get mad.
doesn't work out.
Get mad. Break it. Monthly report
And then
once
you
again.
can see here the entire carbonated refreshment flow behavior, where we get our drink, return to our table, consume our drink,
Do you see
and
his
then
wrist? Who drinks like what? Can you
return
do that
to our
again for me?
table.
Look at that. He's like, oh, I love this soda. Fix your wrist, man. Come on now.
Consume our drink, and then dispose of it in the receptacle where it can be properly despawned to preserve server performance.
Nice. Responsible NPC.
And before we move on, let's go back to that failed reaction from before and see if we can really get inside the head of our AI in this exact moment. All right, let's see. Think I'll go for a peach flavor today.
Peach.
Make my payment.
Peach flavored
Oi.
soda?
What gives? Hello, Mr. Machine Man. Oi, bruv! Give me my peaches and prawn delight. That ain't right.
That's how you hurt your
Hey.
toes, dude.
Wakey, wakey. I ain't got time for this. Well, maybe just a few minutes more. Hello. Oi, this thing is really fastened in there, isn't it? Doesn't move an inch.
Oh, he's trying to steal it. Steal it,
You know,
dude.
back in my day, we used to move these things all over the standing system. You're lucky you're not physicalized, bruv.
I actually remember when we were kids and we would mess these vending machines up. I don't know about you guys, but in high school, we would knock these things around to try and get free drinks out of them, to the point where I remember that I think they started to like bolt them to the ground because we were just tipping them back and forth and stuff so much. Responsible kids, you know.
All right, moving along.
Ooh, yes.
Let's check in with the EU Sandbox team and their continuing work fleshing out the derelict outposts to be found on the surface of Pyro's planets and moons.
This is such a
What
cool
you're seeing
feature to me.
here is a white box traversal test, the kind of work often done by level designers to flesh out aspects of the intended gameplay experience before artists come in and finish it out visually.
This has really strong Horizon Zero Dawn vibes to me. I think that's just the most recent in my memory in terms of like post-apocalyptic architecture, you could call it, but some of the concept art really hit that vibe for me. I hope that they can do a good job of filling these with cool and interesting features. Loot, you know, maybe some lore here and there, a couple text documents, some hints as to why these things are abandoned. That'd be really cool.
And as you can see here, these derelict outposts are intended to be canvases to a variety of mission types and emergent opportunities, storytelling possibilities, and given that it's Pyro, maybe even some unavoidable PvP firefight eventualities.
Give me Pyro Crab.
And in addition to working on the colonialism
Spacescaping.
outposts, the EU Sandbox 01 team are also exploring new gameplay opportunities out in the farthest reaches of the upcoming Pyro system. What you're seeing here is some early pre-production work on larger scale points of interest to be explored throughout the system.
They talked about this in the
Utilizing
monthly
debris
report
from
too.
capital ships, or in this case, defunct, damaged, or destroyed space stations from days gone past.
Now, the thing with this is like we have some stuff that's kind of like this in Stanton. What we really need to look out for with this new iteration is that they're actually bringing in, like he said, real gameplay complications with this. It's not just a place that you fly around and see cool sights. there need to be actual things to come visit in here, whether that be derelicts, maybe some camped out NPCs, maybe a couple pirate ships that are just waiting waiting for you to fly by and attack you, but something that's a little more engaging out here than just sightseeing is a must, I think, at this point.
The upcoming Pyro system is intended to be rich with a history more violent and conflicted than the Stanton system you're already familiar with, and without the efforts of megacorporations like ArcCorp, Hurston, Microtech, and Crusader keeping things relatively nice and tidy. That means a variety of husks, relics, and otherwise aging locations to discover from the nearly 500 years of space travel and exploration that have occurred in this lawless frontier. This also includes variations with pre-existing pathing solutions intended to guide players safely to their destination through a damaging or otherwise dangerous array of obstacles.
It does definitely have a cool look to it. I mean, as far as like a space epic goes, this has got to be one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a video game, but it's just cool looking for now.
Not unlike the famous coil from Squadron 42. Yeah, they may be lawless out here, but nobody wants to die unnecessarily speeding through an array of microasteroids or by losing hull integrity to corrosive agents and the like when making their way from one outpost to another.
Corrosive agents?
They're outlaws, but nobody likes a bad road trip.
Look at that. Wait, hold up. We've seen that concept
They're
before.
Outlaws.
This one right here in the side. That's one of the space stations they were showing us in concept at CitizenCon. Again, there's a lot of stuff that we've been seeing at CitizenCon that was just concept art. Even earlier this year, that was just concept art. That's starting to show itself in ISC, monthly reports, and some other different, sneak peeks and stuff. Definitely something to keep in mind. This is the first year that I feel they've really done a good job of taking what they showed us at CitizenCon and actually continuously showing us the development going on with that. What's going on with it? Where is it headed? What is the goal? They haven't done that before. Not in any big way. This is good. I like the way that this is sounding. It might not mean that we get Pyro this year, but it does mean that they're working on the stuff they showed us.
But nobody likes a bad road trip. And beyond just being a cool place to explore visually, it's important these points of interest provide gameplay opportunities to players within. As the mission system spawns its myriad of mission types to explore, collect, attack, rescue, salvage, repair, and more, we also want to create environments that provide compelling reasons to leave your larger ships at the outskirts, safe from the dangers within, where a smaller craft would be perhaps a more tactically sound solution. And if you're asking yourself, what the heck is this
a cave?
Place? We're going to talk more about what you're seeing here later in the year.
Hold up. This looks like a space cave. Let's see. What would tell us?
Tactically sound solution.
What would tell if this is in space? I think
explore, collect.
Yeah, there's no thrusters firing on the bottom side of the ship, so this must be in space. Maybe an asteroid cave of some sort, a chasm inside of a big asteroid. Either way, really cool that they're building something smaller for these ships to get into, but they've been talking about space-based locations in the monthly reports, and this is definitely
attack, rescue, salvage, repair, and more. We also want to create environments that provide compelling reasons to leave your larger ships at the outskirts, safe from the dangers within, where a smaller craft would be perhaps a more tactically sound solution. And if you're asking yourself, what the heck is this place? We're going to talk more about what you're seeing here later in the year.
Definitely interesting.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we got a glimpse at the earliest stages of feature iteration with a look at the exact same kinds of presentations given internally to directors to scope out work for the months ahead. That the AI team continues to push the everyday behaviors of NPCs in naturalistic ways in their continuing efforts to create an immersive experience for all players. And that traveling through space looks to get just a little more involved and potentially a lot more dangerous as we continue along with our path to Pyro. That does it for us this week. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
I liked the focus on the locations. I feel we're in a good spot that they are consistently telling us about this. I'm making a video for supporters right now about this. If you want to see it, check out all the different places you can support. But they are introducing places in different stages of development, right? White box, gray box, final art, concept. They're showing us all of these at different times of the process throughout different parts of the year. And every time they talk about it, they're also mentioning that, hey, this is a location that's also coming with like missions or something to do. This isn't Cargo Decks. This isn't Grimhex Racing. This is an actual location that's going to give you guys tangible gameplay. That's so much better than what we were getting before. And it sounds like these locations teams have caught up a little bit to the production flow of the ship art teams or the planetary tech teams, in that they can now fully realize the things they want to do in a feasible time. So I really love that. The wear and tear stuff is cool. I think the benefit of that is more seeing the process that they use to get that stuff done rather than learning new information about wear and tear. But we can probably expect to hear some improvements on that throughout the next few patches, because it seems like that was more of a short to medium term endeavor. But the location stuff is really cool. Derelict settlements are going to be great, and these space-based locations are going to be cool. Pyro seems to be the real big focus, and to be honest, it feels like they are doubling down on it to try and make that the standard for what the game's going to be going forward. And I bet they do that with every system that they add, but it'll be cool to see a new system that's a little bit more polished and more put together than Stanton before, hopefully, they go back to complete Stanton. Anyways, guys, this was the first of the season. We're going to have plenty more. I have had a lot going on my plate. I don't have all of my computer stuff set up. The camera, obviously, my cam link is broken completely, so I'm using a webcam right now, which also seems to be broken, but until I can afford to get another cam link, we'll be doing it this way and see how that goes. Besides that, though, we got exciting stuff going on, and looking forward to sharing more with you guys throughout the month. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.